Hello, I'm going now to present to you some of the major results that have been obtained during my PhD entitled Sediment Trouting in the Synorogenic series of the Acton Basin. First of all, why it's important to understand the sediment trouting system. Well, because sediments that are preserved in the basin during the growth of the mountain belt have recorded the entire history of the development of this mountain belt, and studying these sediments allows us to get information that are not necessarily preserved in the mountain belt. This thesis is focused on the North Pyrenean Foreland Basin called the Acton Basin that you can see on the left. The synorogenic sediments are preserved in this basin and are cropping out in its eastern part, called the Corbière region that you can see on the left. One of the main goals of this thesis is to understand the evolution of the sediment trouting system during the growth of the Pyrenees. Another issue that needs to be understood is the development of high elevation low relief erosional surfaces that have been mapped over the whole Pyrenean belt. The development of these high elevation low relief surfaces is linked to the aggradation of sediments on both flanks of the Pyrenees. An aggradation of sediments have been already demonstrated on the southern part of the Pyrenees, but it's never documented on the northern part. So we need to understand or to know if an aggradation occurred on the northern flank of the Pyrenees so we can explain the development of these high elevation low relief surfaces or not. In order to answer these two questions, we have been using multiple approaches. One of these approaches is low temperature thermochronology. We have been applying apatite fission track and uranium, thorium, helium method on apatite crystals. And we have been applying these two methods on granite boulders collected from the synorogenic series called the Palaiseau series. The inverse thermal history modeling of the results are presented on this slide as time temperature paths, and it shows the path of these sediments from the source to the basin. First, it shows that these sediments have been exhumed during the early orogenic phase of the development of the Pyrenees. After their deposition in the basin around 40 million years, they encountered a burial episode followed by an exhumation. This burial episode first they have been interpreted as due to the aggradation of sediments in the Corbière region, and the final exhumation is interpreted as an erosion phase. So we have been estimating the thickness of sediments that are demonstrated by the burial episode, and this thickness is kilometric. We have presented the thickness of sediments on the cross section that you can see on this slide, and it shows that the elevation of these sediments seems to be connected to the high elevation low relief surfaces that have been mapped on the Pyrenees. And it shows also that both flanks of the Pyrenees have encountered the same history with an aggradation followed by an erosion. So it seems that this aggradation that have been demonstrated on the north part of the Pyrenees confirms that they are at the origin of the development of the high elevation low relief surfaces. Thank you.